Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Supreme Transformation. I am your host, Supreme Confidence. And today, what I'm going to be touching on, the subject I'm going to be touching on is self-love, the importance of self-love, and things that we can do to improve in our self-love. To give you a background about myself with self-love story, before I go ahead and continue, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and click the like button and share this with someone who you think needs to hear this. So a little bit about my journey with the self-love is I never loved myself. I never knew anything about loving oneself. I went through a very long time not loving myself. There were stages in my life where I would let people treat me any kind of way. And I would let them say things to me, not having any boundaries is what I dealt with. There were times where I felt like I needed somebody to love me, And what I didn't know was I was supposed to giving all that love to myself as a child. It all started off at home. Everything, and that's crazy because everything starts off at home. Your parents are your mom or your dad. They are your first teachers. And because my mother didn't know anything about self-love, she couldn't teach me. And then that goes on from generations before me, where I would say hurtful things about myself. I never spoke life into myself. My great grandmother, she was raised in the segregation days, and she was like she's very melanated. She's a melanated woman, dark skinned woman. She's not my complexion. So during around that time, she was actually of course she went through not the slavery, that she went through the segregation days, being called racial slurs and things of that nature. So when I went ahead and stayed with my great grandmother, she would project that or say these harsh words to me, and it made me look at myself as such. I didn't really think very high of myself. I would also deal with going to school and having a lot of problems with socializing with individuals, or if I got rejected, not knowing that rejection was a part of life, the only thing it did, it made me depressed more. It made my anxiety always go skyrocketed. It really shattered my confidence. I didn't love myself. It was just like I felt like I needed that void to be filled in, and I didn't have that void. And at a young age, when you do not love yourself, it can really bring you down low. When you really think about it, depression and anxiety is at an all-time high. so much to say suicide is. And it's crazy, you know. And I feel as if had I been taught this at a younger age, I would have achieved so much more in my life. I've man, all due to the fact that I did not love myself. I went through stages in my life in relationships. It even showed in relationships where my ex, the women that I'm just gonna say, the women that I've dealt with, they knew that I did not love myself as well. And when people know that you don't love yourself, they talk to you any type of way. They do certain things. Matter of fact, people will even go as far as testing you just to see if they can get away with it or not. It's like if you have children, your children will even send you a test, will even test you just to see if you can get away, just to see if they can get away with it. And what I learned from that, from my experiences with my previous relationships, is that you must have boundaries at all times. At all times. I learned that it's okay to put yourself first. I learned that it's okay to say no to anyone. To be quite frank with you, it's okay to say no. I want to let y'all know something. And I think this was a tweet. And it said something like, using your sexual urges is not a form of self-love. It's not a form of self-care. Unlearn that. I'm going to even say it again. Not being able to control your self-urges is not a form of self-love. It is not a form of self-care. Unlearn that. And I'm going to speak from experience. The more that you with this person, you get with that person, and you all around the world. You get around like Tupac, you feel me? And when you do that, you know, and people say everything is energy. When you do that, you're really doing so much harm to yourself. You're doing a lot of harm to yourself because you don't know, a lot of times you don't know what these people's spirits are like. A lot of people's energy are off. And when and sex is actually, it's a sacred exchange. It's a sacred exchange. It's a sacred energy exchange. So when you're getting with someone, you guys are sharing each other's energies. So if this person, so let's say like if you're an individual who you eat good, you take very good care of yourself. You take your spirituality very serious. You're very into your spirituality routine. You don't drink. You don't engage in, I don't want to say social activities because that can also be something positive, but you don't engage in parties or clubbing and things of that nature. So you really take a lot of time to, get to know you, and you really take a lot of time to better yourself. And you get with this individual who does club around, party, they drink. Smoking, I'm going to say so much as cigarettes. Tobacco. I'm going to put it like that. Tobacco. This person has a very unhealthy diet and things of that nature. This person is they listen to, I don't want to say very bad music, but these people they listen to depressing music, So when you exchange these energies with them, you are going to, they're going to transfer all that energy. You are going to get some of that energy as well. So if that person goes through depression or whatever insecurities that they deal with on the regular, you're going to feel that as well. You can actually, when you are on this spiritual journey, you can actually feel when someone's energy is off. I will be the first person to tell you that it has happened to me, and this is what made me start taking sex a lot more serious. And this is why I be trying to tell people, be careful who you sleep with, be careful who you sleep with, you may need to stop having sex around and stuff like that. And most people, they take offense to it. What you mean I can't have sex like that? You can do what you want to do. Ma'am, sir, you can do whatever you want to do, but do be prepared for the consequences. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when you don't get what you prayed for, that can have something to do with your partner or the partners you've dealt with in the past. For women who say that person didn't count, that's not the way the law of the universe works. Maybe that's written in your rules, but in the law of the universe, that's not how it works. Anybody that you get with, even if you're just talking with someone, just having a platonic relationship, a platonic conversation or a regular conversation with someone, you can actually feel some of that energy. This is why sometimes you'll say things like, I resonate with that message, or I resonate with this, or this person has good energy. So just imagine what goes on when you're having sex with this person. So you have to be careful with this. That is a very, very, very dangerous way to hurt yourself. That can really hurt. That can bring your spirit down low. This is another reason why people who break it off with you, or like when things don't go right, this is why it really hurts you completely. Their spirit, their energy is carrying on to you. You're dealing with this. I had a previous relationship where I was dealing with a woman, and she would always break it off. Always break the shit off. No matter what I did, she would always break the relationship off. And I would always notice how it would just be deep. I would feel terrible. I would feel terrible after me and her broke it off. It's just like, no, I need you, and this, that, and the other. that never did anything for me. That only really made the situation worse. You really want to learn to love yourself? You really want to learn to love yourself because it says who you are. Nobody can never make you feel complete. Nobody can ever make you feel whole. You are already whole as one. And I'm talking to, and this conversation is for people who are trying to, or not even trying, who are looking to manifest their soulmate. I'm not talking about the individuals who still sleeping around, or you single, but you're not, but you still doing your motherfucking thing. You get where I'm going. You still doing your motherfucking thing, and you want your soulmate. You think that it don't work like that. As a matter of fact, you'll never attract your soulmate like that. It don't work like that. I hear the stories all the time how the moment that something goes wrong with this soulmate and things of that nature, now all of a sudden you back with your playmate. Now you in this triangle. Now you on a Steve Harvey strawberry letter, writing an anonymous letter talking about how you with this great person, you with this great woman, or you with this great guy and things of that nature, and now it's something that you don't like about there's an imperfection you done found. You done found the flaw, a very teeny tiny flaw. Now your playmate's calling you back and things of that nature. Now all of a sudden you done went ahead and fucked up and all that shit. So it don't work like that. But for people who are looking to manifest their soulmates, one of the best ways to do it, one of the greatest ways to do it, is to make sure you love yourself as a whole. Not a hoe, a whole. Completely. As one. You have to marry yourself. You want to marry yourself. Not literally, but like figuratively speaking. You want to act as if your soulmate, it doesn't even matter if they show up or not. It doesn't even matter. And when you do it, and the way to do that is feed yourself good foods. Eat right. You know? This conversation is for people who are ready to attract their soulmate. Feed yourself these clean food. Feed yourself these foods. Because what you want to do, you want to get on this high level frequency. You want to vibrate. You want to increase your vibration. That's what I'm looking for. You want to increase your vibration. So you feed yourself high vibrational foods. Now, I'm not telling anyone to go vegan or no shit like that. But try to keep a balanced diet. If you're not gonna take away everything, balance it out. As much as you eat meat and your restaurant foods and a lot of the processed foods that you eat, balance it out. Turn it up a notch. What you want to do is eat a lot of your raw fruits. Cook a lot of your green leafy vegetables. Juicing your fruits and vegetables. If that takes too much time, I would recommend smoothies because juicing can take a lot of time. It's very time consuming. So I would say smoothies. Get more into your smoothies. Drink a lot of water. This is a part of self-care. You want to get in for ladies and men, ladies and gentlemen. You want to get into meditation, yoga, stretching, spiritual baths, clean your house. We're almost headed to the spring cleaning. You know, start preparing yourself, getting yourself prepared as a husband or a wife. You just have to be already. You have to be in the moment. Not in the moment. You have to be in that. You have to be in that present, in that very present time. This is if you want to attract your soulmate. I'm telling you how very important self-love is. Create you some boundaries. I was talking with the young lady and she said one of her, was it boundaries? I don't think it was boundaries that we were looking for, that the words that we used. I can't really remember, but it was boundary, but it was on that list of boundaries. And she said, well, one of my boundaries is you are not going to, like, I will not be taken for granted for. Like, I will not allow someone to take me for granted. I will not allow someone to take me for granted, and I will not allow anyone to try to manipulate me as if I'm not doing the best thing I can. I'm not doing the best as I can. You know? So she started like creating some boundaries, and that is exactly what I want a lot of people to do. Creating boundaries plays a significant role in self-love. A significant role. Here's something else that you want to get into. You want to detox as well. Because you can't just be cleansed from the outside. That's just one aspect. And that's pretty much the easy aspect. Cleaning from the inside. Cleaning from the outside. Cleaning from the outside. Cleaning from the outside. Cleaning from the inside. What it does, it gets rid of a lot of the toxicity that's in your body. Most of the time, the reason why we get sick is due to inflammation. And mucus is the effect. So it's inflammation. So when you constantly eating these refined sugars that's pretty much in everything, such as your caffeinated drinks like pop, if you drink a lot of soda, if you drink a lot of coffee, iced coffee. How many of us drink energy drinks, whether it be Red Bull or whatever? You will see that it is a caffeinated drink. So these sugars and things of that nature, it attracts parasites inside of our body. And not to get too deep into this, because this is not what this podcast is about, but just to touch up on it a little bit. You crave sugar due to the fact that you crave sugar because we carry these parasites inside of our body. And the more you detox, the less likely you will crave sugars. I'm speaking from experience. it's been almost 60 days since I've had some sugar. Now, I have my natural sugars, fruits, dates. Date is it's a fruit, but you can use it as a sugar. Date syrup, maple syrup. Anything that has added sugar, I don't really, deal with that. But you also want to detox. You want to clean your home. You want to act as if you already have your significant other. Maybe go to the gym. Brush yourself up a little bit. Read. If you don't like reading, we have audio these days for individuals who don't like to read. Some self-improvement books on how you can self-improve. Things that resonate with you. I'll even give you a good one, a good recommendation, and it's a book that it actually helped me. It helped me understand, my self-love. It helped me understand self-love a lot, and I recommend that a lot of men. Doesn't matter what race you are. I recommend a lot of men get this book by the name of Heart on Break. And I'll leave it in the link, and I'll leave it in the link, and I'll drop it in the link or about who it's by, who the book is by. But this book changed my life completely. It talked about how he talked about how he went through times where he would break it off with his exes, or these two would separate, and then the moment that she would call him, these two would get it on and things of that nature. They'll fuck around and things of that nature. And now that's pretty much all they got together for. Now after they had fucked around, they figured out why they don't like each other. And then he noticed that it was a pattern. He really speaks on that. How he had to take time on taking a break from the dating scene to get himself right, to actually love himself. And I absolutely recommend this book to people. He talked about how it was stressful with his mother, the child of his baby mamas, the mother of his child, the mother of his children. How he would break it off because of the simple fact that they were too stressful or they weren't at peace with themselves. He would break it off, and they will make his life chaos, and you can't come see the child and things of that nature because you don't want to be with me, or so he had to he pretty much, that book really goes in to the point where it will get you to see some things. It will get you to go and take a look at yourself, to take a look in the mirror, and you will see some errors that you need to check off. And self-love that book is a self-love book. And I definitely recommend that book to a male or a man or a male who's really trying to get their life on track. So another form of self-love is making sure that you are putting yourself first. Making sure that you have you some you time. I made this comment on my Instagram post, and I said that no matter what that looks like, Make sure that you take the time out and make some time for you. Have you some you time. If that's just playing the game, whether that's just window shopping. Window shopping, just going to the mall and things of that nature, and just looking around. It's therapeutic. Even if that's just sitting in your car for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you're just sitting in your car and you're just getting your peace of mind. That brings your stress levels down significantly. Sugars, a lot of sugars and a lot of processed foods, it increases your chances of stressing, because these things are due to the fact of anxiety and depression. And stress, those all ties in together, including overthinking, where you can't sleep and it's hard to sleep and you sleep with the TV on, or you always scrolling through your phone. You want to make sure that you make time for you. Get into meditation, get in tune with nature, or being by the lakes. A lot of people like the lake. I used to do it all the time. You have to find out what's therapeutic for you. Take advantage of the sun when, we're headed into spring now. You want to make sure that you take advantage of the sun, getting out in the sun. This is going to help. Release chemicals inside of the brain by the name of dopamine and serotonin. And what the sun does, it releases the chemical serotonin. Also, exercising, it does that as well, and it releases dopamine as well. But the sun, it releases serotonin, boosting your mood, giving you a chance to, not giving you a chance, but it's decreasing your chances of anxiety and depression. It brings that down significantly, getting the sun. So please do take care of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Another one is shadow work. I'm not going to touch on that so much. That will be in another episode to come. But shadow work, this is what you do when you want to love yourself completely. You want to love all of you. That's your darkness. That's your, anything that you feel it's, a lot of people may feel shameful for. Like you should be ashamed of yourself. This is embracing your dark side, or the things that you feel that is very imperfect about yourself. So doing shadow work will absolutely take your life to a whole nother level. Trust me. I even do shadow work still to this day, and I love it. So I will be in episodes to come, I will be discussing about shadow work. So I hope these tools and these tips help out for individuals who are trying to get better in their life, or trying to attract their soulmate, or they just want to see different results. You got to put in the work, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not easy. It is not easy. On a day-to-day basis, you are going against yourself every single day. Every single day, you're going up against yourself. And you want to make sure that every day that you get up or that you wake up, you're a different person. or you're striving to be this different person. Each and every single day, you want to make sure that you're doing that. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope this helps. Please share this with someone who may need to hear this, or you can use these tools or these tips for yourself. The goal is to make sure that you become the best version of yourself. So I wanted to leave y'all with that. And you guys have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time. Peace and love.